and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. If so, you can subscribe. The button is always down below. Post videos, still panning, and more. And just a little side note, I made some adjustments to my camera today. Like, I put the tripod up a little bit higher today just because I felt like my head was always cut off and that was annoying me. But now, like, I just feel so off of balance because it's a little bit higher, and just the camera, you can adjust, not even just adjust the legs to the tripod, but you can also adjust where the camera sits, like on the actual like part where you lock your camera in. And I just feel like it's very off-center today. And I never have it like this. Like, I think it looks better because my head's not cut off for once, but it's a little weird. It's a little weird. And the lighting's also very weird in here today. So I just feel very off-center today. So if I feel a little different, a little off, that is why. But anyways, let's just get to it. But today I'm going to be introing my panthoseshadows for 2023, which I'm very excited about. I'm super excited to finally be introing this and stuff, and I'm just very, very happy about it. I'm glad I took a little bit break from panning my shadows, but now I'm ready to get back into it, which is super exciting. I'm ready. I'm ready to get to it. I'm ready to just get back to panning and that kind of stuff. And I'm going to be formatting my panthoseshadows a little bit different than I did last year. But yeah, I'm really excited either way. So let's just get right into it. Okay, so first off, I do want to mention that this project was created by Ipsy. I'll link her channel down below. She doesn't post videos anymore and stuff. I'm not really sure if she's active on Instagram, but I'll link her down below. But she created this project. And what's fun about this project is it's pretty much like this project has like expanded off of her original project. A lot of people do this differently. A lot of people do it their own way. Some people generate, some people do other things and that kind of stuff. So it's like a fun project in that sort of sense. Like, it's just everyone does it differently, which is super fun and stuff. And yeah, that's, I guess, fun. And yeah, so everyone does it differently. I'm gonna just be formatting mine a little bit different than last year. I'm just gonna be making a few shifts. I'm not really gonna be formatting it different. I'm just making a few shifts than I did last year to just make it more like, I don't know, fun and stuff. And I want to be more consistent with this project than I was last year. So we'll kind of see, but I don't know. As of right now, I'm going to share what I'm going to be doing with mine. I did take notes on my laptop, so I'm going to pull those up. But I did kind of start planning out my projects end of November, early December, just for this year. So, and if you missed my planning the pan video and you still want to watch that, go ahead. I'll link it down below. So for this project, I kind of made my own rules and kind of have my own, I guess, guidelines and stuff. So first off, I'm going to have 6 shades and 1 palette, just like I did last year. And I will be sharing my focus palette sort of, I guess, after I pick the shadows and stuff. So I will have a focus palette, and I will generate 1 shadow out of that palette, and I will work on that until I meet my goal, which I don't know if I'm going to do like hit pan goals or if I'm going to do use up goals. I haven't really decided that way, but I am going to have a focus palette just like last year. And then 1 shade, I will allow myself to have 1 shade that I do pick myself, and that is my personal like pick. And then last year I picked 2 prompts out of my friend Lainey's prompt list. I will be using her prompt list again, and I'll link it also down below. But yes, I will be using it again and stuff. And this year I decided to do 3 though out of her prompt list. I really like it, and I might eventually I might do more, but I'm thinking I'll do 3 so that way I can be my focus. I like that because I can pick what I work on, but I do still like the idea of randomly generating, so I will be randomly generating for that. And then 2 shadows will be randomly generated for my spreadsheet of just all the shadows I have. And I will give myself vetoes, so when I want to stop working on something, I can do that. And I'm just going to be doing it as I wish. I'm not going to give myself 5 videos for the whole year. I was giving myself basically 1 video per month. So if I wanted to video something, I can, but I just feel that I should be able to choose if I want to work on something, when I want to work on something, and that kind of stuff. And so my goal for project is going to be 20 uses or hit pan. That's just what I think is the best. I just think that makes the most sense to do 20 usages or hit pan and stuff. Like, I think that makes the most sense, and it's just what works. I think 30 is too much. I found the first year I did this project, but 20 is just the perfect number and stuff. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And yeah, so let's generate, I guess, our shades. I need to find my phone now. And I think I'm first going to generate the 2 shadows that I will be working on. So yeah, I pulled up pretty random, and I'm going to first just pull up my palette spreadsheet. I know I'm getting a few palettes in subscription boxes, or at least a palette in a couple shades. Those aren't in this prompt list just yet, but I will add them in before the next update. Okay, so my spreadsheet has 734 shades in it. I believe all the ones I have are in it. 734. And we're generating 2 numbers. So the first one is 60. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that says 60. And the second number is 107. Again, I don't know if you can see that, but that's 107. So 60 and 107. So 107 is Sultry Bloom. I believe that's a bright pink, so that's gonna be terrifying. But I guess that's the fun in it. So we have Bloom, Sultry. I'm actually gonna write these down on my laptop. Sultry, Bloom, 107. And then we have 60, which is... 60 is Naked to Verb. I believe that's like the gray shade. Which is funny because that was the focus palette last year. Okay, so now I'm going to pull up Lainey's prompt list, and I'm going to pick my 3 shadows off there. I was actually watching her video this morning. Actually, before I filmed this video, I started watching it. And I'll link it down below if you guys want to check it out, especially since the prompt list is in the description, I believe. Okay, so it got real dark in here, so I pulled out the ring light. Okay, so I have Lainey's prompt list pulled up on my computer. There are 100 prompts, and there is a spreadsheet with duplicates, and then there's also one without the duplicates. I'm just gonna go with the one with duplicates, I think, for today and stuff. And there's so many fun prompts from like Project Pan Graveyard, which was obviously inspired by Emily and Max, and then there's also like shadows that start with I or K or M, or like, you know, the alphabet obviously goes from A to Z. And there's also ones that are like certain colors, like red shimmer, orange, blah blah blah, oldest, newest, that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna generate 3 numbers, 1 through 100. So first one is 72. I'm actually gonna write these down so I don't forget. 72. Second one is 30, and the third one is 60. And I'm going to tell you guys what those are. So 72 is shadow that starts with you. 30 is shadow... I don't want to work on that, like a gray matte shadow. I don't wear gray, so I'm going to re-roll for that one. So I'm going to take that out real quick, and I'll re-roll after I go through 60. See, we're already using our veto. And I don't want to do 60 just because it's shadow that starts with I. I think I'm going to re-roll 72 and 30 just because I don't know, I'm not feeling that. We have replacements, 78. And then we have 23. I don't know if you can see that, but that says 23. So here we go again. 23 is, again, I don't really want to do that. Okay, 3rd time's the charm. 18. 18 is A to Z roulette, which I believe you just roll a letter and go off of that. I think that's how that goes. But let's go, what's What's 78? Shadow you love but rarely wear. That's actually a really good prompt. And I believe ADZ Roulette is picking like the letter. So I'm spinning on my laptop. And I got A, so I'm going to pick something that's either brand name A or a shadow that starts with A. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I'm gonna go pick all those and then I'll be right back. Okay, so shadows are picked out, but before I get into that, I want to introduce our 2023 Focus palette. So I actually have a funny story, which if you watch my empties video, you'll know. If not, I'm going to tell it in this video. So originally I had picked out the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette to work on for this year because it's like one of my oldest, it's not my oldest palette, but it's like the third oldest palette I believe I have in my collection. And so I was like gonna work on that, and then I pulled it out yesterday, and there are like white spots in one of the shadows. All the shadows were like dry, so I'm like, this has to be expired. And when I saw the white dots, I was like, okay, yep, it's definitely expired. And I was touching the shadows even, they look just so terrible. I was like, yeah, there's definitely no way I'm working on this palette. So I did declutter that palette and throw it out just because it's very old. And I just really want to make like I don't know, I want to start using all my older palettes, and those will definitely be my focus palettes. So this is my second oldest palette in my collection. I don't even know how my oldest palette is still going in my collection because I've had that palette for probably just about like 10 years now. Over 10 years actually. And stuff, because I think I've had that one since like 2013. So literally 10 years. Okay, but moving on. So this year's focus palette is going to be the Naked 3 palette. I didn't use up my Naked 2 palette, so I'm definitely going to be incorporating that also a lot in this year as well, because I do want to try to get use out of the shadows. It is a very old palette, so I'm just afraid the shadows will be going expired, especially since I've had it for that long. You shouldn't really technically keep it. You shouldn't technically keep palettes as long as I have, but you know, here we are and stuff. So this is what my palette is looking like. I'm also going to try and do close-ups. I know a lot of you guys said that you want me to do like close-ups, but this is where our palette is at as of right now. This is what all the shadows look like. And yeah, we need to randomly generate a shadow. So there are 12 shadows in this palette. So I'm going to randomly generate a number right now. And that's the shade that we will be working on. So 1 through 12, we got 7. Lucky number 7 is Nooner. That's not a bad shade to be working on, especially for the first one. So, yeah, that's what it looks like. I'm going to take pictures and have close-ups, and we did better about taking pictures for my projects this year. I really want to work on that, so that's what we're going to be doing. And I will also try to use up all the other shadows, or not even just use them up, but like work on the other shadows. I really want to work on the rose gold and stuff, and we're going to see where this palette goes this year. That's exciting. But let's talk about all the other shadows that will be in this project. So I guess I'll start out with the randomly generated ones, and actually I want to swatch all these so I can show you guys like our color story for this year. So we have Nooner that we're going to swatch. This one is not swatching great, but you know, you take what you can get. So that is Nooner swatched, and I guess I'll swatch as we go. So next, I randomly generated 2 shadows. One of them was out of the Naked 2 palette, which is funny since we worked on this all last year, and I was originally not really pleased with the shadow that was picked, but I decided, I don't know, once I saw it, I was like, oh, actually this is not a bad shadow. So this is like a silvery gray color, but it's actually not swatching that way. And that's actually a really pretty shade. So the goal of that is obviously going to be 20 usages or hit pan. If I can hit pan, that would be great too, and if I could use up, even better, but we're gonna see how that goes and stuff with that. That's what the shade is looking like. I don't know if you guys are really going to be able to see, but like I said, I'm going to try and do close-ups for you guys. Next, also randomly generated is from my Sultry palette. She's so gorgeous. You can't even get this palette anymore. It's just so sad. But the next shade is Bloom, which again is that bright orange. That is terrifying. I don't even know how I'm going to use that shade. But you know, we swatched it or we picked it, so not even. It was randomly generated, so you know, we're going to stick with it and see how we can friggin' use that bright ass color. We'll see. I guess with a very light hand. I don't even know. Then I had the Ipsy and I generated the letter A. So I had to pick something with the color with the letter A, which was the hardest thing ever. I do not own a lot of shadows, let alone brands with the letter A. So that was difficult. But I ended up finding one. So this one is from the Modern Renaissance palette, which is also a decently old palette for me. And this one is Antique Bronze right there. This is like a brownish shade, so this is actually not like a bad choice. That's what it looks like. It's gonna be hard to pan because I don't usually use a lot of like deep colors, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so the last prompt was the prompt, a shadow I love but don't get to use a lot. So I picked one from, again, the Anastasia, but this is a collaboration with Carly Bybel. I love this palette, I really do, and I decided that I was going to pick the shade Moo, which is that one right there. I don't know if this is going to show up very well because the packaging is white, and I don't even think you're going to be able to see, but I do have a dip in that shade. I don't know if you'll be able to tell. I will do close-ups, I promise, but I do love this shadow. It is a gold, and this is definitely a shadow that I want to work on. It is so pretty. Like, look at that swatch. So pretty. And that color story is very interesting, but I think it's gonna work out, actually, oddly enough. And that shade I would love to hit pan on. I think that's gonna be my goal. Well, obviously all my goals are like 20 usages or hit pan, but if I could hit pan on that shadow, I would be so happy. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna be working on for this year's panthoseshadows, or at least just for the next couple of months. It'll be interesting to see how fast I can hit like goals. If I have an update where I don't really have much progress, I'm not going to update and stuff. That's just how it goes. But I will be updating update 1 no matter what. Just because I want to be able to show you guys my progress. But after that, if I don't have things to update you on in that project, I will wait and stuff. So I might not necessarily do 12 updates, but we're gonna do as many as we can. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and stuff. Projects gonna be rolling out. I'm rolling them out a little bit later than I was anticipating, but you know, it is what it is. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I love doing these projects, and they're one of my most popular videos on my channel. And yeah, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.